Here's a very risky hot take. And I'm taking a risk on many fronts because one, I'm not a parent. I have no experience in parenting. I have no kids of my own. I have only been someone's child. Um, and I am once again going against a generational and cultural norm within the black community. But I feel this strongly. And hey, in 20 something years, if this completely falls through for me in my life, feel free to come back to this YouTube video if YouTube still exists and tear me to shreds. But black parents, amongst other things that black parents need to stop doing, among which spanking is one, but this video is not about that. I think black parents, y'all need to stop kicking your kids out at 18 as a hard fucking rule. Stop looming this fear over your children's heads that once they turn 18, they need to get their black ass out of the fucking house and make it on their own. Straight kicking kids out like Shishomaru kicked out the twins, like Shishomaru threw the twins into the forest. Like, if you're an anime person, which you probably are, but if you're following me, can we stop doing that? And by we, as a person that plans on being a parent, not someone that is a parent, admittedly, can we stop doing that? Because I feel like it's something that's setting us the fuck back. I really fucking do. Because I have noticed other families. I've noticed white families. I've noticed even Asian families, in which kids seem to be more free to have the option to stay at home for a while. Most commonly, like during college years. You know what I mean? And admittedly, some people do stay at home too long. I'm not saying let them stay there forever, but I'm just saying, like, can we stop looming this fear over black children's heads that they have to figure everything out by 18? Because when I see, like, like mostly like white kids that get to stay at home, I have literally, like, hand to God, witnessed some very happy, like, 24, 25-year-old white kids that have a really nice start in life because they were able to just stay home for a few more years. And it's not like they just sat on the couch or whatever. And, like, no, they went to school, and they got a job. It's not like, they weren't expected to do anything or contribute to the household or anything. Like, I think that's something that, you should be learning to do even younger than 18. To some extent, like chores and shit, not like a full fucking job. But but I've seen so many kids in my generation get a pretty nice start, because they were able to live at home for a bit. I I have, like, I know people like that are still, living at home with their parents, but they have a career. They're buying their first home and all this stuff. And I feel like it's another one of those things like therapy where we framed as a white thing, which is funny. I think it's really funny and self-destructive how we seem to frame all of these things that seem to be extremely helpful to our mental health and our financial well-being as white things, as if we are not allowed to have them because we're black. And maybe we need to start doing some of those white things, like going to therapy and, I don't know, like being able to stay at home for a little while longer. Because I can tell you, like, that would have taken a lot of stress off of me, you know, as a 16, 17 year old. You know, maybe fewer of us would maybe few of us would have to look towards things like, oh, I don't know, the military, to carry us forward past our 17th and 18th years. Like literally like there's a reason why, like, I feel like there's a reason why most of the enlisted ranking people in the military are Black and Hispanic, are Black and brown people, because I feel like in waves we get kicked out of our homes at 18 because there's this expectation that has been passed down, like, you need to go out and you need to become a fucking adult and you need to fucking make it, and the nurturing just stops, if there was any nurturing at all. Because, and it's like, because we have enough going on already as Black children, right? Like, we're already dealing with racism. We're already, depending on if you're a Black man or a Black woman or anywhere in between, like, you're going through some very specific traumas. I know as a Black woman, I believe, the group most likely to suffer clinical depression. And then ironically, I believe the group less likely to seek help for it because, again, therapy is for white people. So we have enough going on there. Like, what if you're able, what is the fucking harm in not putting the pressure on our kids to leave home immediately and figure everything out, sink or swim? Like, what's wrong with that? Because I think that our mental health as a group, I think our mental health would improve greatly if we were able to have that backing, that support. I think that more of us would be able to have the time and space and comfort to figure out what we really want to do in this life. And I don't care who you are or what you look like. I believe that everyone, if you can swing it, I believe everyone deserves that chance to really figure out what it is they want to do. And I don't think that you should be penalized if by 17 or 18, while your brain and reproductive organs are literally still fucking developing, where like it's literally possible that a girl has not had her fucking period by the time she's 17 or 18. I don't think it's very fair to expect a fucking child to have their entire life figured out. The rant that I did before this video talks about just that mindset in general, that like 17 and 18-year-olds that were asked, that were expected at like our sophomore year of high school to start figuring out what the fuck we want to do with our lives, and then we get shit on when it doesn't work out by the time we're like 20 and 21, whatever, or by the time we graduate college or don't, or we drop out or whatever, you know what I mean? But just like as far as building generational wealth and health, like not just like financial wealth, I'm talking about like mental health and wealth. Like maybe that's something that we should start not doing. Like maybe that's an option that we should start extending to our kids, to stay at home for a little bit, or like leave if you want to, but not the goddamn Showtime at the Apollo Cane as on the eve of your fucking 18th birthday. Like as soon as you are like tiptoeing on 18, this feeling of dread of like, I gotta figure out everything at once, like just something, like, okay, stay at home, get a job, stay at home, get a job, go to school, go to trade school, go to college, or just get a job, figure it out, like whatever, stay at home as long as you're contributing, buy the groceries, shit like that. Like it's possible, like arrangements are possible, I feel. And it's something that me and my husband talk about when we talk about being parents in the future. I'm like, how are we gonna do this? Like, what expectations are we gonna have for our kids? And we think about how we were brought up and how we want things to be better for our kids. And what I'm thinking is that if we really do want things to be fucking better for our kids, can we let go of this notion that because we suffered that they have to suffer? Like, what's the point? What's the fucking point? Everybody's gonna go through trauma. Everybody is gonna go through bullshit in their lives no matter what, because that's what life is. What is the fucking harm in in preventing as much useless trauma as possible? Like, why? Why? What? Just a thought. Just a thought. Just a thought. Because I just really think that for future generations of black children, black and brown children, it might be nice with all the stress there's already heaped on top of us, um, on top of them, all the things that they already have to worry about. Wouldn't one thing to not worry about be if your family is going to be there for you or not? Like, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it, like, would it not be worth it just to, like, just to have the option to stay at home and figure things out at your own pace and then move out when you're ready? I don't know. Me personally, that's something that I plan to extend to my kids. And like I said, I'm not a parent. I've never done this before. So if this backfires on me in about 20 years or so, feel free to come back and tear me to shreds. But I'm just watching other kids in other cultures and other homes, and things are turning out really nice. Things can turn out really nicely for them. Like, every kid is different, and yeah, every kid is different. But I see how things turn out, and I'm like, I think maybe that's a white thing, another white thing that maybe we need to try. What a risky take this is.